Network Address Translation (NAT). The distribution of the addresses through the internet service providers has created one issue, that where the ISP has granted a small range of addresses to small business or any organization, and if the business grows or hold needs a larger range, means if the extension is to be there into the organization, this ISP may not be able to grant the demand, means internet service provider will not be able to give certain sort of IP addresses, because the addresses before and after the range may have already been allocated to other networks. This may happen if I suppose I have this private network and I have been 3.1 to 3.20. These IP addresses are already allocated. So there may be some issue that if I want here to expand it, then maybe 3.21 may be allocated to the another network. And if I'm expanding this to 50 machines, so that I will not be able to get the comfort IP address into this private network. So in this kind of situations, only the portion of the number of machines which would you have it, that you basically divide and decide it for the allocation of the network addresses. And for example, here assume a small business with the 20 computers, in which the maximum number of computers that access the internet connectivity is only 5. So in that case here, then you can have here the addresses can be allocated to only 5 machines separately, and the remaining machines can be kept it separately. Because when only 5 machines are communicating with the internet, then here you need to keep the track of their IP addresses in the global communication through the internet. So here the business can use here 20 to 25 addresses for their private block addresses, and this can be represented into one of the concept of network address translation, a technology that can provide here the mapping between the private and the universal addresses is represented by NAT, network address translation. The technology allows a site to use a set of private addresses of internal communication and a set of global internet addresses. In this case here you can see the diagram. This diagram is interpreting here 1 to up to 20 number of machines are connected into the private network, which is having the IP address of this laptop is 172.18.3.1, 3.2 up to 3.20 is connected into one LAN, and these are basically connected to the special router, and this router is connected to the internet. So when any of the machine wants to communicate with the internet in this private network, then there is one special router is needed, which will provide the message packetting from this side to the other side. In that case here you can see my example. I am telling key 3.1 laptop is sending the message, so message packet will come here. At that time the source machine address will be 3.1. It will come here, it will come to this particular router. At that time also it will carry here the source IP address 3.1, and when the packet is dispatched from this point, then here it will not take here the exact IP address, it will take the IP address different, and that will be 200.24.5.8. This IP address will be considered as a source IP address. Why it is needed here? Because here internet, when you are communicating, then internet service provider or your server should know the 3.1 ka IP address globally. But it cannot happen because this is the private network ka setup. So therefore this router ka IP will be recognized as a global IP address, and these all will be the private. So this global IP address is the 200.24.5.8, and this IP address will be known as a source IP address for that packet to the internet server. And then whenever machine internet server will give the reply, then it will give you to this 200.24.5.8, means destination machine will be this IP address, and when this router will accept and dispatch it to 3.1, then this router will take the destination IP, that is 3.1. So it's a job of this special router to recognize these interfaces. If from this interface you are getting the message, now from this interface it is getting outgoing. So this mapping will be done by a special router which is called as a network address translation router. This network address translation will be done like this way. In the next diagram, you can observe it. See, the message packet has been dispatched and it is carrying the source IP address 3.1, means this one. Router will accept it. Router dispatches the packet, but the source will carry its own IP address, not 3.1. So it will be given to the internet. Internet server will give the reply, and that reply will come as a destination IP address to this router, that is 200.24. It is not giving it to 3.1 because 3.1 is requesting, but still the reply will come here, and then the this router will give the message packet to the concerned machine, that is 3.1, as a reply. This whole thing will be kept in the track of in the form of the translation table, and this translation table will have the information about the private IP address and private port and the external IP address and the external port. You mean to say that this message packet is coming from this interface, so this port value as well as this source machine IP address will be recorded into the table for this message packet, and from where it is getting routed from it this point. So this port address, see my cursor, this port address and this IP address will be recorded into the table. Which for information? See, this port means this interface, that is one, then this second, that is IP address, then this is the third, that is this interface, and the fourth, that is this IP address. Like this way, the network address translation table will carry such sort of information into the network. The next topic is DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. This DHCP protocol is used for configuring the machines into the network. When you have to configure the particular machine with the specific IP address, then this DHCP protocol is used for configuration. This protocol allocates here the IP address to the specific machine, and this IP address will be allocated depends on the specific network address whichever is given, server address whichever is given. Based on that, here the allocation will be done. It will be given by the DHCP server, means the machine should locate here the DHCP server, then they can get the access of that, getting the IP of that particular machine. In this case here, the DHCP is a client server protocol in which here the client is sending the request and the server returns the response, and the response is in terms of the IP address. Here there are 64 byte options. We can have it used for the specific server name, and certain sort of server information can be written into that particular message packet format. There are certain types of messages can be communicated under the DHCP, and that message will carry this kind of specific format while communicating the data under that messages. So this is what opcode, this is the operation code. We mentioned client server protocol, so when the client is requesting, means it is having one, and when the server is responding, then it will have a two. So that's why it is a opcode. H type, that is a hardware type. Hardware type, I told you, means what? The network type. If your network is normal LAN, then it will be 32-bit addressing will be there. And if you are having Ethernet, then it will be telling here the IEEE Ethernet LAN ka code into the H type. H length means what? Hardware length. This hardware length, I told you, if it is normal LAN here, then you will have a 32-bit IP address. And just now you have seen the IP address also can get changed, depends on the version. Similarly, depends on the hardware. If you have a Ethernet LAN, then here the address will be 48 bit, that we have seen in link layer addressing chapter. Okay. H count, that is maximum number of hops the packet can travel. So I told you that if the machine A and machine B is communicating through the path AXYB and your XY is router, then this H count will monitor here the number of hops to travel. Number of hops to travel. So hop means what? Router. How many router your this message will take to reach to destination, that is H count. How many routers this message takes to reach to destination is called as a H count. Transaction ID. This transaction ID is an integer value that is set by the client and repeated by the server. So every transaction will have a certain unique code, that is a transaction ID. Time elapsed, the number of seconds since the client started to boot. This is the time elapsed. That time when client is requesting for the server, and if the client has to be rebooted again, then there is certain time it should wait for responses, and that is called as a time elapsed. Flag, this is the first bit which is defining 0, then it is called as a unique casting. If the first bit in this portion it is a 0, if the binary term, see this whole information will be written in the form of a binary. So when you are having here this 16-bit value, blue shaded area, why 16-bit? See, 0 to 31 means this protocol is carrying 32-bit ka value. So this is 32-bit, second line 32-bit, third 32-bit, next 32-bit. Like this way, all 32 words you people are having, 32-bit ka words you are having, and this flag is a 16-bit value. See, 16 to 31, so it is a 16-bit value. So this flag bit, if first bit is 0, then it is unicasting, and first bit is 1, then it is called as a multicasting. Remaining 15 bits are not used at all. Client IP address. This IP address is set to 0 if the client does not know it. Obviously, when you people are asking for your own IP address, why? You are a client and you want the IP address, so you don't know your IP address. You are asking it, DHCP server, cliently give me my own IP address. So that's why it will be initially written as a 0. Your IP address, this the client IP address sent by the server. This is the 0 also, this will be nil in the request, but when server is giving the response, that time this your IP address will be filled up by the server. Server IP address, obviously this will be the broadcast IP address if the client does not knowing this particular server. In fact, server also should be located by the client, and if it is not locating, then it will be written 0. It will be written as a broadcasting, not 0. It will be written as a broadcasting address, otherwise it will be written with the specific server ka address. Gateway. Gateway means what? It's a specific path from where you can route the message packet. Take this example. When 3.1 is sending the packet to reach outside this network, what is the path? This is my cursor, you can check. So this address is the gateway. And what is this address? See in the previous diagram. This address is 172.18.3.30. This is what this address. See this point ka address, and that's why the gateway address for all these machine is this one. Means what? From any of the machine, whenever the packet is to be routed outside, the gateway address is this one. Like this way here, the gateway address will be written into the packet format. So this is the gateway IP address. Client hardware address means what? Whatever network the client is belonging to, that client ka hardware address. As I told you, this hardware address, if it is Ethernet, then it is 48, and if it is normal LAN dash 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 means what? If it is normal LAN or private network, then it will be 32-bit format. Server name, this is the 64-byte domain name of the server. So this is the name of the DHCP server will be written. Boot file name, this is 128-byte file name. You people are having some extra DHCP related information will be there. And options, this is again the optional field for certain kinds of extra DHCP's operations to be deal and some dual operations to be worked out, that can be done, and we are not going in detail with that options. Till now only this part we need to see it carefully. DHCP protocol can have several messaging. One of the message is DHCP server, because when client is requesting for something to server, the server should be located by the client. So it will be done by this DHCP discover. Second one, DHCP offer. This DHCP offer will be given by here server to the client, which is basically offering the IP address to the server. So the IP address to the client. DHCP request is the special request which is given by client to the server for asking here the IP address allocation. DHCP decline, if the request is not sanctioned by the server, then it can be declined. DHCP acknowledgement, this is regarding when the request is sanctioned by the server, then server can give the positive acknowledgement. DHCP not acknowledgement, if here the server is not sanctioning the request, then here the negative acknowledgement can be given. DHCP release, this is basically releasing here the DHCP server for the next particular request sanctioning, and DHCP inform for alerting the data into the communication. This way here, this particular data communication can be done. DHCP transaction can be worked out with this way. It can be where the DHCP client can discover the server by broadcasting it, otherwise by specifically giving the IP address of this server. Then DHCP server will offer one kind of special message to the DHCP client. It is basically telling here the IP address of that particular DHCP client. Then here this particular DHCP client will give the request about allocating that IP address for certain time duration, and then here the DHCP server will allocate that IP address to the specific lease time. This way here the acknowledgement can be given, and this DHCP acknowledgement is basically when the selected server responds with the DHCP acknowledgement message to the client, if the offered IP address is valid, and if the server cannot keep its offer, then the server sends the DHCP negative acknowledgement. This way this last packet will get worked out. This can be discussed with this kind of states which we people are having, and in these states here, initially here the DHCP client and the server is in this init state where they are basically joining, and they are at the initial stage we people are having. And at this point here, the client will send here the DHCP discover message to the server, and will go for the selecting state. It will go, client will go into the selecting state. While it is there, the client may receive more offers from the server. Okay, so from that here it will select the specific offer. Why? Because DHCP can give you multiple IP address ka offer. So depends on that, it will send here the special DHCP request and will go in requesting state. And this DHCP offer will be in this kind of way, where the server will give the DHCP offer. If it is not sanctioned, again it will give the another offer. If it is not sanctioned, again it will repeat. And if it is okay, then it will be given by the request, and then it will go in requesting state. It will be in the requesting state till now when the DHCP acknowledgement is received by the server. This acknowledgement will be received by the server to the client, and unless and until it will be in the requesting state if your lease time is 50% expired. Why? Because I told you that there is for certain time duration the IP address is allocated to every machine. So if the 50% of time is expired and you have given some IP setup, then here till that it will be in the requesting state. Otherwise, if that lease time is not expired, if the lease time is not expired, then here it will go in the bound state. It will be in the bound state unless and until the request is not getting renewed. Means if your this 50% time is expired, then it will ask for the new IP address. He kindly allocate me the new IP address. So for that purpose, it will give you the DHCP request for renewing the IP address, and then it will go in the rebinding state where the server will rebind that IP address, will give the DHCP acknowledgement to the client, and then the DHCP released can be done if that particular lease time is cancelled. Means if that lease time period is cancelled by the server, then here these particular lease release message can be given. As well, sometimes this negative acknowledgement also will work what I told you accordingly. As well, during the rebinding, if the lease time is expired, that time also here this negative acknowledgement will be given. by the server, and again it will be disconnected by the server. So this is what the overall flow, how this particular DHCP client and server will work for finding the server, and server will allocate here the IP address to the DHCP client.